If you know me personally, and if you've had any kind of conversation with me in recent weeks, you will have heard of Nik the Booksmith. I recently discovered her videos on YouTube and I'm addicted. I can't stop watching her videos. And in one of the videos, she set a challenge, and I decided that I wanted to take part in this challenge. The closing date is somewhere around the middle of November, and we're not quite the middle of October, so that's plenty of time. Well, it would be, except that the challenge was set last year, but I decided that I wanted to do it anyway. So here we go. So the idea behind the challenge is it's called the Deserted Island Challenge, and we've been shipwrecked and washed up on a deserted island. And with us, we've got a bag with just 8 craft supplies in it, and we need to use those limited supplies to make a journal. So there are 4 items which Nik says everybody has, and 4 items where we have complete free rein to choose our own. So the first thing that everybody has is paper for your pages. You can have as much paper as you want, but it has to only be one type of paper. So I've chosen this lightly coffee dyed paper. It's very light. Combination of not really having the coffee mixture strong enough, and also I used a smoother paper than I have done before, and I think that the texture just didn't take the dye so well. I'm still new at this, so I've not quite found the recipe that works for me yet. I've tried coffee, I've tried tea, I've tried air drying, I've tried oven drying. So eventually I'll find my favourite. But for now I've got this light coffee dyed paper. Then we have either scissors or a knife. I chose these scissors which my nan gave me in a sewing kit when I was quite young. Probably, I can't remember how old I was, probably 10, 12, something like that. So these scissors are over 30 years old, but they're still good all-round scissors, whether it's for paper or fabric. They just seem to still work really well, so that's why I chose those. Needle and thread. I debated for ages about what thread to use. I was going to use embroidery thread because I thought I can use all 6 strands, or I can just use 1 strand. I also have got some multicoloured twine, and I thought that would be good because I could perhaps separate the colours and have, you know, although it's one item, have 2 different colours. But in the end I've settled on this natural twine string, whatever you want to call it, and obviously the needle, so that still counts as 1 item. And then glue. Again, I debated for ages about which glue to use, and I've decided on Mod Podge. Because it's liquid glue, Nik said that it was okay to use a brush, so that again, that counts as 1 item. I decided on Mod Podge because you can also use it as a sealer, and I thought it might be quite nice to put a sealed coat on the cover of the journal to protect it. I might regret this choice because it is very runny water-based glue, and it'll probably make everything go really wrinkly. But we'll see. Hopefully I won't regret that choice too much. So that's the 4 basic items. And then the 4 things which I've chosen for myself is a pen. It's a black waterproof pen. Somewhere I've got a brown one, and I think if I find the brown one before I start the journal, I think I will swap. I chose the pen partly because I want to be able to use it to do some decoration, and also if this was a real situation where I had the supplies to make a journal, I would be very frustrated if I didn't have the means to then write in it after I'd made it. So pen is my first chosen item. Then distress ink. So this is vintage photo colour for basically distressing, aging the edges of the pages, and also a piece of sponge. As you can see, it's a little slice of a washing up sponge, which is what I use as my applicator to put the ink on. And again, that counts as one item. I'm not cheating, that is one item. Nick said so. For the covers of my journal, I've got 2 pieces of craft cardstock. It's quite thin, so I need to double it up to do the covers. So hopefully that's not classed as cheating, having 2 sheets. In my mind, that's one item for the covers, the same as multiple sheets of paper is one item for the inside. So hopefully that's okay. And my last chosen item, which I'm the least sure about, I don't know if this is a good choice or not, I've just got some plain fabric. Now this is actually the bottom, well, near the bottom of a trouser leg, from a pair of trousers that I bought years ago from a second-hand shop, to make a doll, because it was the closest fabric I could find to kind of skin colour. I did think about coffee dyeing the fabric as well, but then I thought I'll leave it as it is, and if I want to make it look older and grubbier, I can always use the ink to grubby it up a little bit. So there we go. I have watched a few videos of people who took part in the challenge last year, so I may use some of their ideas. I will try and stick to my own ideas. I've kept everything very plain and very simple to try and push me to use my imagination for different ways that I can use some very basic supplies. Some people who did the challenge used some gorgeous patterned paper and some very highly decorated fabric, and their journals were amazing, like really beautiful. But for me, I kind of like things quite plain and simple, so I've gone for like real natural colours, kind of, it's going to be quite rustic looking, very basic. So we'll see. I might get halfway through and think I've made some very bad choices, or I might get to the end and think I chose wisely. We will see. I'll let you know how I get on.